Hi again, this is Filippa and I am really excited to dive into a very dear part of our bodies, which is our jaw. And it's intimately connected to our pelvic floor. If you see a cadaver, it's called that in English, right? Like a dead body. If you search on Google, you can see photos of like the fascia around the jaw, which is directly connected to the pelvic floor. So they have kind of just taken out this part of where you can see the jaw at the top, a lot of fascia, nerves, and all of that, all the way down to the pelvic floor, and they are like directly connected. So if we have a lot of tension here, it will not be helpful for our pelvic floor. So today we are going to use a fascia release technique for this area. And if you've worked with fascia at all before, you may know that fascia needs about 3 minutes of work and love and attention to start to melt or change form or shape, start to release. So what you need today is oil, and just because I love castor oil, if you follow me, that I use that for my internal work inside of the pelvic floor and vagina. It can be a great option here for your jaw, but kind of any organic oil would work. So you go ahead and we're going to start on one side. So you take one hand and you're just going to start with putting the oil. And we're just going to be kind of short and sweet. This can be super effective to do right before you go to bed if you really want to unclench your jaw and have a relaxing night. And you just take like behind the ear, like all the different parts around the jaw. Make sure it's oily, and all the way up here till the side of the eye, temple, right? And even toward the cheek here, the cheekbone. And now we are going to use our knuckles. So you can use either these ones or these ones. And you can shift and change throughout. So we're going to work for 3 minutes. And if you start gently, for me, I know that I have a lot of tension back here, right underneath the ear. So I'm going to start here, and I'm sensitive here. Like it's a lot of tension. So I'm not going very hard at all. Opposite. And I'm going quite slowly because you can really work with the pace in this exercise, and you can move it up, as you go deeper and deeper. And now I'm coming out on the jawline all the way to the chin, and I'm using my other knuckles, like the smaller ones or the top ones, and I'm just rubbing like this. So we're going to stay for 3 minutes on this side. I'm going now to the top part of the jaw and back here to the actual joint. If you relax with your mouth open and try to relax the tongue, it can be more effective. Oh, it's so nice for me now. I also feel a lot of heat building up. That's actually what I like about this oil, because it creates kind of some resistance because it's so thick. So you get warm fast. Open your mouth, go all the way up toward the cheekbone. And if this is too fast or too hard, just do not do that hard. And behind the ear, even partly on my head here, I'm going like this. And there's no right, super specific technique other than what feels good for you or okay. And you can even take it alongside of the neck. Everything is connected here, so there's no part that you cannot work with. Like everything is going to have an effect. Good. Just about 30 seconds more. Can you see that I'm turning red? Maybe the chin on this side. Some sound may be really nice to let go. You can take an inhale through your nose. Just visualizing that fascia melting, letting go, creating that circulation. Ooh, behind the ear was so nice now. And then slowly we're gonna start to stop and just do some gentle strokes here on this side, maybe on the side of the neck. And before we like move on to the second side, just close your eyes and become aware of how this side feels compared to the other side. For me, I can feel a lot of heat spreading and circulation. This side feels much more alive. I can definitely feel that I can unclench this side a lot easier. I was not aware I was clenching that much on this side, but I am. Even though I'm trying to relaxing, I'm like, I can still feel that tension deep inside here in the joint. Okay, so I hope you found some words for yourself to describe, because if we can become aware of how different exercises affects us and how maybe hopefully good it feels, like that you also can really enjoy the effect when you start to awaken a body part, that's worth sometimes more than the actual exercise, if you know what I mean. So let's take the oil again. I'm going to use my other hand because I got a little tired in this arm. And I'm going to put the oil here. You know, castor oil is also really good for skin health. So it is a good combo to do this with castor oil. Okay, just make sure you have it kind of everywhere, and then slowly I'm going to do the same procedure on this side. If you feel you need something else, you do that. But this is like, oh, it's so nice. Right, this point and behind my ear, I think is like I can feel my whole body melting. Like it's not just this area, it's like and you go to the jawline if you follow me. All the way to the chin, but keeping it more underneath. Yeah, and then on top of the jaw, using whatever knuckles feels more accessible. Going toward the joint. Opening the mouth, relaxing. I have some hair I need to remove. Yeah, so you just keep going. Underneath the jaw, just be careful around here is your thyroid. So we don't want to press too hard in the middle of the throat. But around is great, also for thyroid help. And then if you want to come all the way down alongside the throat, the neck, I am really tensed here. So this is great. And like if you work here, it may even be better to work with the opposite hand so that you can relax this arm and this part of the body. But also, you know, just depending on what feels good. So coming all the way back behind the ear. So I'm doing it all the way up toward the scalp. And do whatever, you know, makes sense. So maybe you just use one knuckle and you kind of dig in a little deeper. But it shouldn't be too sharp. Like if you can't breathe because it's so sharp, then you've gone too far. And maybe just finishing up here around the cheekbone. And you can see I'm so red here. That's great. And then some last strokes. Maybe just giving like some gentle, loving strokes around the whole area. And I think it's a good idea to do before bed because like if you don't want to walk out as a tomato like me. And then just closing the eyes, taking a relaxing breath, noticing the effects in your jaw, in your face, neck, throat. And if you can do this like once a week, twice, maybe even more often, I think that is great. And you're in a long-term way also going to see an effect in that it is going to be easier to unclench if you have that tendency to clench your jaw. So thank you so very much for practicing this with me, and let me know in the comments what other videos you would like to support your pelvic health.